Well, Mr. Cliff, on stage you gave a rundown on the Love Supreme. Could you give that to me again?
You can elaborate on love a lot, but I think there are four things that you can inch everything else to. Love is sincerity, humility, generosity, and charity. You can inch like 12 other different types of love to those. But the essence of it all is that love is intimate and divine between two individuals. You know, the essence of life is divine love. There would be no life outside of divine love. That is the source. And when two people connect that divinity together, you know, that is the essence of it all. There's nothing that one wants to accomplish in this life. It's quite rare that it happens in this world at this time. It's quite rare. But I strive for that.
For the union between people?
Yes. That's why I call my band Oneness. I call my record company Oneness. Call my record label Oneness. Because it is the cry, it's the need. You know, everything else in creation is in oneness, except human beings. So while everybody else is doing what it is, somebody has to be. Keep saying that, you know. And I think in music is one of the most open doors to really let these important sounds heard.
The dance and the music put together.
Yes. I had a global vision, and I mean, he could say, I want to conquer the world with my music. And whether it's music, because I didn't only see myself as a musician and as a singer or a songwriter, I also saw the area of films as well. I really wanted to cover the whole spectrum. Someday I'd even like to do a Broadway thing, you know. So when I say conquer the world, I mean I saw the whole business. I wanted to do that. So I've done some of that. I am recognized as a singer, songwriter, and actor all over the world. So I have recognition, but I don't think I have total acceptance. It all depends on one's concept or interpretation of politics. Because, you know, on a general basis, when we see politics, if one start talking about social issues and things that goes on within our society, one looks at you as making political statements. But I don't think of myself as a politician, because poli means people and ticks is a parasite. So politics is the people's ticks. So politicians prey on the morals of the people, which means a politician will get up and say, hey, if he knows that he's going to get an applause, whether it's right or wrong, he'll do that just to get an applause, to get an amen. Me, as a musician, I'm a man of truth. So I'm going to say the truth regardless if I'm going to get an applause or not. So it's very different from a politician. A man of truth is different from a politician. A politician doesn't stand up for the truth. He doesn't care about the truth. He cares about power. I have a very strong concern about what's happening on our planet Earth, where we're going. I mean, not only apartheid, but like our environment, like they've broken the ozone layer and things like all these. I'm concerned about what they're doing, you know. So yeah, and apartheid now it hurts me deep, because one, as a human being, second, as an African descendant, you know, to see a place like Africa so rich but yet so poor, and we know all that comes out of Africa. We know that whoever owns South Africa, especially, has nuclear power, because that's where they get all the uranium from. It's also in Angola and Zaire, but South Africa is the main place, you see. So the problem with South Africa is not just the people who immigrated to South Africa, the Europeans. It's not just them. It's the whole world. It's America, it's England, it's Germany, it's France, it's Russia. They all have vested interest there. That's why apartheid is still going on. I love anything that's like fresh music, and that's why I listen a lot to African music, because that's where I hear the freshest type of music now. I mean, West Africa has like many different rhythms, East Africa has many different rhythms, Central and South different again, North different again. So, you know, whenever I go to Africa every year, sometimes to tour and sometimes just to pick up the vibes. I go to a record shop, I say, just give me what you have new. I don't care who it is. I just take, and you know, on my cassette, that's what I travel with. So I listen to African music.
What do you see happening in the land of the eagle?
In the land of the eagle? Well, you know, lots of things are going on. I mean, they need to get their act together. In like, they're responsible for some of this weather that we're having, you know, like the drought, the heat, all of these things. They don't stop these things before it's too late. If it's not already too late. You know, we're in a collision course. So what's happening in the land of the eagle is not very, realistically not very positive. You know, so when we come to play music, we try to, we give a positive vibe, and we send out sounds that hopefully people will pick up on it, and try to do something. You know, I like the 60s. I like the era of the 60s because people were speaking out. Now everybody seems to be under these illusionary spells. You know, they're not seeing the reality of what's happening. So the eagle has spread its illusion over most of the world. The bear is doing that too. The bear is doing that too. So
what do you see as the problems? What are
I mean,
the problems?
like nuclear things, nuclear. Rockets in the sky. What I thought they need to. People, food, medicine is the answer. Plant food. If medicine, people can live. It seems to be on a course of destructive, to be destructive rather than to be constructive. Is the problem. So we're still giving out the positive vibes to be constructive. You know, it doesn't take a lot of people to make a revolution. It takes a few who see and know to make a change. So, you know, a lot of people were dancing tonight and were having fun, but I think maybe they're like maybe 12 out of it who said, you know, he was saying something, and they weren't just dancing. Maybe there were 12 people tonight who go home and think differently. I think they will write to me, and you know, together we can do something.
And you see love is the answer?
You know what? The systems are falling short of love. You know, the systems. I mean, communism and capitalism is not very different. I mean, the essence of what they're really saying, they really mean the same thing. You know, for the people, from the people, by the people. It's really what they both mean. But that's just theory, because they're falling short of love. I mean, the communists, they command, and the capitalists demand. They both fall short of love. You know, what the communists want to say is they took our communal way of life and add an ism to it, call it communism. And the capitalists forget that the first capital is the breath of life. He forget that. So he worship creation, the created things, instead of giving reverence to the creator. You see? So this is it, they're falling short of love. So I say the essence of life is divine love. So that's where I see the answer.
How do you see the situation in the Middle East?
Well, I mean, there's a place down there in that area called Arma and Gato. That's where the Armageddon is going to start. Right down there in Jerusalem, West Bank, all of that area. That's where the Armageddon is going to start. It started. It started. It's just building up and building up, you know, till like 1994 when it gets to the peak. That's it. That's what's happening now.
Okay, second to the last song, I believe, was In the Face of the Beast.
Image of the Beast.
Image of the Beast, sorry.
Image of the Beast. Everybody is living in the image of the Beast. You know? I said it's so funny. They only want money. They don't want the honey, which is the Most High. The honey is the Most High. You know, because when you check honeys, they take things from all different things and make one thing that is medicine for your body. So I refer to the Most High as honey. They only want money. They don't want the honey. They only want the dunny. The dunny is money. It can done. It can finish. You see? So the mark of the beast is in their hands and their forehead. They're under the spell of Leviathan. It will lead them to hell. They're living in the image of the beast. Some changing their hair, they no longer care. Some changing their nose, like they're changing their clothes. Some changing their face, some changing the truth for lies without really knowing. That's the sad part. A lot of them don't know that they're changing the truth for lies. And some selling their souls to gain this whole world. And the mark of the beast, the image of the beast is 6, his number is 666. It's in Revelations 13. And say mark the number of the beast, it's the number of a man, and his number is 666. And so, you know, everything that we buy now, it's on it, you see? You see this? These barcodes? These barcodes, 666. Small lines. The N1, the middle one, and the two N1 and middle one. 666. It's on everything. And in the book of Revelation it says, you won't be able to trade without the mark of the beast. So it's happening. Everything that you buy now, the barcode is on it and it's trading. So it's out there. So it's just another thing that I am aware of. So I put it out to the public to get them aware, because I think that is my duty as a musician with a mission, to make people aware of what's happening.
And from your latest album, Hanging Fire, there's a quote: "All gratitude is due to the source and sustainer of all the boundless universes." The source and the sustainer, what do those mean to you?
Source. Some people say God, you know, but for me, I don't call the source God, because God is too common. It's not enough. It's too limited a word to refer to the source. So I just say the source, because nothing wouldn't exist unless it came from the source. Right? Now, God is a word that was made up by the Greeks. You know, they were idol worshippers. G means Gumar, O means Oz, and D means Dazar. And that means Gumar is wisdom, Oz means strength, and Dazar means beauty. Wisdom, strength, and beauty. And the Greeks were into all of that, worshipping wisdom, strength, and beauty. Now these are attributes of the source. The source, nothing wouldn't exist, these things wouldn't exist unless it came from the source. So God is too limited. I mean, if you turn the word God around, you get dog. So it's not enough. So the source, you can refer to it as the breath of life. You can refer to it as love. And it is beyond human comprehension, the source. Because we can't comprehend exactly what the source is. But we know that it's there. Like this radio, if you turn it down, or say a radio or a TV, if you turn it down, doesn't mean that sound is not still there. But it's just down. But you don't comprehend that sound is still there. It's just down, but sound is still there. it's the same. There are planes and levels beyond our comprehension as human beings. You know, so the source is also beyond human comprehension. But all we know is that the breath that we breathe was here before us. So, and love was also here before us. That wouldn't exist outside of that. So these are the things. So I said, the source is responsible for all the boundless universes that exist, all the galaxies that exist. They just found a new galaxy the other day, but we already know that that exists. You know, the scientists they just finding that out. But the scientists, they should be putting their energies into medicine and food to make us live, instead of they're putting their energies into destructive things.
And the sustainer?
He's the sustainer. He's the one who sustains life. You know, I refer to him as he and not as it or she, because he's the king. You know, a woman can't be a queen unless she marries to a king. So the king is always the head. I mean, I get into a lot of fight with this now over feminists say that, but you know, you have to have a head. You have to have a leader. Even in your own body, there's a head. You know, so there must be a head. We can't be equal. We're equal human beings. One of us has to be the leader. And we were made to be the leader as male sex. So the reason why we refer to the sustainer as a he is because he wants you to know that he's the head of the whole universe. So that is it.
So we're in the middle of Babylon itself, and what would you have to say to all us people here in Babylon, the common man? How can we face the down pressure, the adversity that, you know, I hear you coming out through your music?
Well,
how do we face it?
You know, may I go by the scriptures? You know, try to live right. There are laws in Babylon, and there are also laws that the Creator gives. Now, my intelligence tells me that when I die, or what is called death, this physical body goes back to physical where it came from. My spirit lives on, and it has to give account to someone. Just as if here, you have to, if you don't pay your taxes, you know, system puts you into jail. You have to pay your taxes to do that. Same way, the Creator also gave us laws to live by. So here in Babylon, what we have to do is to try to do the right thing by living by the laws that the Creator gave us. And it's in the scriptures. So me, I go by the scriptures. So one doesn't have to be confused, because there's if you read the scriptures with an open mind, you can see for yourself. You don't have to be going by what a preacher or one of those people are telling you. You know, all the religion is just a device to rob people. The essence of what religion is to have respect for what is sacred, which is truth and life. So by doing that, we can exist in Babylon. Because all Babylon has to offer is material things. Babylon doesn't really care about. Babylon is here to take you off the right path, to divert you with illusionary things off the right path. So here, under the oppressor, we have to. I try to live by what I read in the scriptures. So I can only advise someone else what I've taken on to myself. So that is how I see it.
Here at Red Rocks, you are the king of the Reggae Mountain.
Give thanks and praise. You know, I have to keep it going, and hopefully I have uplifted some spirits tonight. Because that's what I'm here to do. You know. I came out and I said, we don't come to freak the world, we come to save the world. With love as our foundation, wisdom as our capital, struggle is our manner, and truth is our redeemer. So hopefully I have uplifted some spirit.